Okay, here we are. We are going to review a question type called matching statements with the date or author. Kind of sample that you can see here. We have a list of scientists, and this has to be matched with the statements over here. You could also be given dates over here that you should be matching with the information. So the way to do this would be a little easier, as you just can find Roger Angel over the passage. Once you get that, so what Roger Angel has done, you can identify, and based upon that information you can go with this one. Okay, so let's get started. We do have a passage called reducing the effects of climate change, and Mark Rowe reports on the increasingly ambitious geoengineering projects being explored by scientists. Okay, so you should read the title, at least a subtitle, and read the first paragraph to get at least connections, because you're going to have like small incidents that should be retained over your mind while doing the exercises. So it's a report done by a kind of person, Mark Roy, and increasingly ambitious geoengineering projects being explored by scientists. So we are going to review some ambitious geoengineering projects. And it's better to go with the first paragraph, read that and get connection, then search for the Rosa Angel. That's the good thing. So without further ado, let's go through it one. Such is our dependence on fossil fuels, and such is the volume of the carbon dioxide already released into the atmosphere, that many experts agree that significant global warming is now inevitable. They believe that the best we can do is keep it at a reasonable level, and at present, the only serious option for doing this is cutting back on carbon emissions. But while a few countries are making major strides in regard, the majority are having great difficulty even stemming the rate of increase, let alone reversing it. Consequently, an increasing number of scientists are beginning to explore the alternative of geoengineering, a term which generally refers to the international large scale manipulation of the environment. According to the proponent, geoengineering is the equivalent of a backup generator. If plan A, reducing our dependency on fossil fuel, fails, we require plan B, employing grand schemes to slow down or reverse the process of global warming. Okay, so means saying about the global warming, and then like to take measures on that with a plan called geoengineering, and that's what we got the information. So when you do this for your exam, once you read this first paragraph, reducing effects, to search for this information, is it contained over or not. So we're initiating this passage, exactly it has to start from here. So we don't have the answer for the 30 create or something like that. Check it for like 37 to 39, 40. So actually, so for this now it would be the waste for you to go through the first paragraph, because this information was not used, right? But it's still like you get connections. So for that, I advise to read first paragraph and check if this information is assessed in terms of questions or not. Okay, indeed right now it's not. So now let's get with the Roser Angel. We just need to find Roser Angel and read the part of that. I can see Roser Angel over here. So what he's saying, let's see. The most eye-catching idea of all is suggested by Professor Roger Ansel of the University of Arizona. His scheme would employ up to 16 trillion minute spacecraft, each weighing about 1 gram, to form a transparent sunlight refracting sunset in an orbit of 1.5 million kilometers above the Earth. This could argue Angel reduced the most of the light reaching the earth by 2%. Okay, so just reading and comprehending this would be great if you have read the first paragraph. Okay, so let's see options like the effects of geoengineering may not be long lasting. It's not said, like he's proposing a kind of plan to employ spacecraft. Geoengineering is a topic worth exploring. It's not said that. So it may be necessary to limit the effectiveness of geoengineering project. So we have not come across any kind of limiting. Research into non-fossil based fuels cannot be replaced by geoengineering. Okay, so we even like did not get any kind of things with the non-fossil fuels. Then like so we don't have anything with Roser Angel that would match with this one. So we should go with the now like down and search. Sometime what happens is again like Roser Angel name would be over here or Angel or the here. It could be pronoun also. So just scan over this text. So majority. So the way to scan would be project. Skip like 2 3 words. Desires, ocean, have focused earth, some reversing. So I cannot see any kind of what specification for his name. And then like let's go with the down here. I just saw mount like as a capital letter. So concept Arctic, exploring scientist, preventing iceberg, geoengineering, snow. So say some climate scientist, but not that Rose Ransel. So over here we have Dr. Philras. So we're searching for Rose Ransel, but we got the second kind of thing. So let's get with this one. And here we got the angel also. So Angel says that his plan is no substitute for developing renewable energy. That's something we already read. One of the option, the only permanent solution. He's saying so it's no substitute for developing renewable energy. And here we had one of the option saying that research into non-fossil based fuels cannot be replaced by geoengineering. It exactly matches, right? So this one would be A. So let's leave the 4D as A. So next, we also got Dr. Phil Rass. So what does he say? Is equally guarded about the role of geoengineering. I think all of us agree that if we were to end geoengineering on a given day, then the planet would return to its pre-engineered condition very rapidly, probably within 10 or 20 years. That's certainly something to worry about. So, as for him, if we were to end the geoengineering on a given day, then the planet would return to its pre-engineered condition very rapidly, probably within 10 or 20 years. So this means if we are to end, then geoengineering is a topic now. The effect of geoengineering may not be long lasting. The effects of geoengineering, yes. So once we do this system and if we end it, then its effect would not be long lasting. It would return to the previous pre-engineered condition, means previous state by 10 or 20 years. So this information matches with Dr. Phil Rass. So let's get with the B. And now again, like we go for another paragraph here, we have says Ras. What is he saying? Let's see. So January plans to inject stratospheric arousal or to seed cloud would act cool the planet and act increase the extent of the sea ice, says Ras. But all the models suggest some impact on the distributions of precipitations. So with this one, so something with the climate thing, limit the effectiveness of geoengineering. He is actually not saying but warning. Inject stratosphere arousal to end, cool the planet and act to increase the extent of the sea ice. So the effect of geoengineering may not be long lasting. Geoengineering is the topic of worth exploring, and we have it may be necessary to affect the geoengineering project. So we actually like it's near close, but we can't even like pick. So he's not saying it may be necessary, but he has given a warning that like it could harm the precipitation rainfall. So let's see, says Dr. Dan Hunt. So Dan Hunt is over here. So further risks with the geoengineering projects is that you can overshoot, says Dr. Hunt, and who has studied. We don't need this information, climate, and we need this one. You may bring global temperatures back to pre-industrial levels, but the risk is that the poles will be still warmer than they should be, and the tropics will be cooler than before industrialization. To avoid such scenario, Hunt says Angel's project would have to operate at a half strength, all of which reinforces his view that the best option to avoid the need of geoengineering altogether. So he has come across with the Hunt says Angel's project should be like what in a happy strength means we do have something related to that option. It may be necessary. Geoengineering is a topic. The effect of geoengineering may not be long lasting. It may be necessary to limit the effectiveness of geoengineering project. So limit the effectiveness means like happy strength that just closely matches with. So this would be with the Dr. Hunt. Hunt means like see. And we have the topic of what this question is remaining 38. Let's move on. We just have the last paragraph, and here we have the Dr. Martin and change advisor for the world. We don't need this is positions, but what he is saying, human-induced climate change has brought humanity to a position where we shouldn't exclude thinking thoroughly about this topic and its possibilities. The last option remaining and the last statement exactly matches is the worth exploring and shouldn't exclude thinking means we should keep it like give more emphasis on this one. So here we are 38 choosing with the Martin, that's the D. So this is the way to do this kind of question. Okay, it would be easy for you, so you can just like search this name. One of the difficulties that we found over here, what Roger Angel we find here, but we couldn't find Roger Angel's statement that would match over this one. We found that on the second paragraph. So of course, like some question would be difficult, most of the question would be easy. So just search for this name and get the information. So based upon that information, filter the options provided. Okay, that's how you do it. So have a best of luck.